Okay, today is Tuesday, November 3rd. So we are starting some new spelling words this week, and we'll practice these spelling words this week and next week. And if you click on your Tuesday spelling words, it will show you the list of the spelling words. You actually have 10 spelling words this week. And so I'm going to first just show you how you can spell these words, how to help you spell these words, because I want you to understand like what the words are, how you can spell them, how I can help you learn to spell them. So I'm going to make this screen over here. And we're going to talk about these words. So you guys should be in your part 2 of your CKLA lessons, and you should be, I'm not sure what unit you're on, but you should be around lesson 23. And these words will be in that lesson as you're learning them. And so the easiest way to learn how to spell new words, especially vocabulary words like this, is to think about the syllables that are in them. So if I write the word collapse, if I think of the syllable, it's collapse. So there's really just one split. So if you think about, okay, how do I spell the first syllable? How do I spell the second syllable? So the first syllable is cal. So it's just like short vowel. K-a-o, just like it sounds. Lapse is a little bit of a rule breaker because it has this like short vowel part right here, but then it has this E. The E is kind of like have and live and give. It doesn't change that that's a short vowel. So you have to remember the E's there, but the E really doesn't do anything. You're just sounding out ul, ap, s, and the E is just there. So I'm sure there's a reason, like the origin of the word, it was Latin or Greek, and it came from a different word that had an E, that's why it's there. But for your spelling this week, you just have to remember there's 2 syllables, and the A's are short vowels, but it needs an E at the end. So if you think of that, and when you're spelling the word, if you think collapse, you could just write collapse. And remember that you have 2 L's. One's in the first syllable, one's in the second syllable, and then don't forget that E that really doesn't make a sound. Okay, so let's talk about the second word that's on your list this week. The second word that you are going to spell this week is diverse. And if we count diverse, same thing. We have 2 syllables. The D is just made D-I, diverse. And verse has this ER, which is like an R blend. And then the E is silent again. And the E does not make this E long. It keeps it short. So it's just kind of there because of the origin of the word. It doesn't really have a job in the word. So diverse, 2 syllables. When you think of spelling the word, you just want to do the first syllable, d, and then verse with that silent E. Just don't forget that E at the end of the word. Okay. Let's do the next word. We're only going to learn 5 of the words today, and then tomorrow we'll talk about the other 5. So our next word is hyena. So if we clap that, hyena, we have hi, e, and na. Hi is made with a HY. So sometimes a Y will say that long I or a long E sound. So at the first syllable, it's made with a Y. So hi, and then E by itself is just making the long vowel E sound, but then our short vowel at the end is na. So hi is HY, then E, and then na, hyena. And this is, of course, those animals that you've probably seen in Lion King. They were kind of the bad guys. They were the ones Scar hung out with, and so they're an African animal. Okay, let's talk about the next word. The next word is integrity. So this has 3 syllables, integrity. Oh, I actually counted 4. So integrity. So 4 syllables in this word. We just have in like normal, T with a short E, gri with a short I, and then T. So instead of making a long I sound like the Y in hyena makes a long I, in this one, it makes a long E, integrity. So when you're thinking of spelling this, you want to remember you do 4 syllables. So in, te, gri, and T. That's all of the syllables, integrity. Okay, let's look. We've got one more that we're going to talk about today, and then we'll talk about the rest tomorrow. We have illiterate. So let's clap that one. Illiterate. So illiterate. So ill is just like it sounds. I-ill. Lit, just like it sounds. It. Is that ER controlled vowel. That bossy ER blends together. And then illiterate. This one is the tricky part because it really makes a short U then a T, and the E doesn't make a sound. So illiterate. So you have to remember is made with an A and a T with a silent E at the end. So when you're spelling this word this week, you want to think of each sound. So ill, lit, and then that is going to be really tricky at the end. You'll just have to remember it's spelled like 8, but it's pronounced like ut. Okay, now that we've talked about the words that you have this week, let's look at your activities. So if you click in your Google Classroom and you click on the slide, it's going to look like this. The first slide has all of the words, and then it has these definitions. And if you click next to the definition, there's a place for you to write the word. So this one says to fall down or give away. That one's collapse. The next one says very different. Well, that one would be diverse. Okay, so I actually realized I have these in the same order, so I'm going to switch them around and put them in a different order just to trick you a little bit. And look, it's not collapse. I showed you wrong when we were doing collapse. Let me show you that again. It's coal, not collapse. It's collapse. So when you spell it, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's do this one. Okay, when you spell it, let's erase illiterate. It's coal, C-O-L, collapse. Still 2 syllables, but it's not collapsed, it's collapse, so it's an O. Sorry, I made that mistake. So anyway, you're going to write what each of these words mean and put them in the box next to them. I am going to switch them up on your slides, so your slides won't be in this order, but you'll type the word that matches the definition. So to fall down or give way would be collapse. Very different is diverse. Dog-like African mammal is a hyena. Being honest and having morals is integrity. Being unable to read or write is illiterate. To unravel something like the edge of fabric would be to fray. To contain control over a place would be a conquest. The head of a public institution is a governor. Responsible of wrongdoing would be guilty. If you're guilty of something, you're responsible of wrongdoing. And to make someone feel ashamed or foolish, you'll humiliate. So these words over on the side under lesson 23 will be in the same order, but I'm going to switch the definitions around just to help you a little bit. As you're typing these words in these boxes, think about how we're practicing spelling them. So we said hyena was H-I-E, hyena. So think of those syllables as you're typing and practice spelling them, and then check it with this list after you practice on your own. It will help you do better on your spelling. Okay, the next one says, write a sentence using 5 of your spelling words. So I want you to use the first 5 words today, and I want you to start after the number 1, and we're just going to use the first word on the list. So we have collapse. So we're going to write a sentence that has to do with collapse. I hope the bench doesn't collapse. Then one with diverse. So you're going to do these first 5, the ones that we practiced today. Those are the ones you're going to type. Our class is very diverse. That means everybody's different. It's a good thing to be diverse, right? Then you'll continue. You'll write a sentence with hyena, a sentence with integrity, and a sentence with alliterate. And then tomorrow, you're going to do the last 5 words. Okay, good luck. And remember, this screen's going to be in a little bit different order because I'm going to switch it around so that you actually have to be really careful when you're typing the words and definitions. Good luck.